Hi, welcome to Sugar Free. This is your daily tarot for Monday the 8th of October 2018. Hope you're well. This will be a 3-card major arcana reading, and then one from the swords, one from the wands, one from the pentacles, and one from the cups, and then one from the wild Kuan Yin oracle. And I'll then be pulling either the sun or the moon card to see whether it is sun, yang, make it happen for the reading, or moon, yin, let it happen for the reading. So we'll see about that at the end. Anyway, I'll just shuffle these quietly. One more. One last cut. Okay. Let's see what we have for Monday the 8th of October. High Priestess in reverse. As per the weekend. Magician in the reverse. The Tower in the reverse. Okay, my first thought on this is that there is powerlessness that needs to be got hold of, and passivity that needs to be got hold of, and the sense of things just kind of happening, needing to be grabbed by the throat and shaken and overturned. Now, High Priestess in reverse, we had this for the weekend energies, is to my mind not a good sign at all. This is spiritual, I'm going to come straight out and say it, spiritual malevolence at work here, or spiritual absence at work. You know, when something is, especially a person card, a court card, when it's on its head, it's either the opposite of the energy embodied by the card or the absence of the energy embodied by the card. And in view of the fact that we also have the Magician in the reverse here in the middle of the reading, this is not auspicious energy. Sorry, this is sugar-free tarot. I cannot make stuff sound better than what I think it is, and I say what I see. However, the Tower in reverse here as the key to power is telling me that the sense of things being out of your hands, change, rapid change, or sort of fundamental change, influences acting upon the structure of your life in a way that you cannot control, like a bolt from the blue, a force majeure, a force of nature. That's on its head here. That's on its head. So there is control to be taken here, and I would say damn good thing too with these two cards, High Priestess in reverse, Magician in reverse. I mean, the Magician in reverse is to me just a manipulation, hiding stuff, making stuff look like something that it isn't, dodgy kind of sleight of hand, gaslighting, and I see that all that here as well in the High Priestess in the reverse. You know, the High Priestess in the upright is real spiritual benevolence and intuition and compassion, and when it's on its head, that is not good. It's the kind of the weaponization of the spiritual elements of the human condition. when the High Priestess is, I see this as narcissism. For me, this is the card of narcissism, pathological, malignant narcissism. And when it is then followed by the Master Manipulator, Magician in the reverse, action is required. I mean, over the weekend, the reading for the weekend just said, look, there is a whole shed load of shenanigans that you can engage with, because you're going to be offered the opportunity to engage with heavy duty shenanigans, but you don't actually need to. You can actually afford to just go, yep, I hear you, and go to the beach. But Tower in reverse here is speaking of moving beyond a passive response to this stuff. Something needs to be taken in hand. Right, let's get one from the swords. Okay, well, for some reason, Two of Swords, there is hesitation about that. And I would say what needs to be asked here is what do you stand to lose? What have you got to gain by not getting hold of this situation, and what do you stand to lose from not getting hold of this situation? Because it looks to me from the Two of Swords like there's a sense that whichever way you go, whether you grab hold of this, as I said, by the throat and give it a good shake, or grab the bull by the horns, so to speak, or just leave things to kind of do whatever they're going to do, which is the energy of the Tower in the upright. It's a lose-lose. There's a lose-lose here. But what looks like a lose-lose very often isn't. It's simply a matter of neither of the options being clearly and manifestly attractive, but one of them is always worse than the other. And very often the harder option to take is the one that involves us actually ending up with our dignity and our integrity intact. And the easier option to take often involves pandering to somebody else's implicit and explicit, covert and overt demands on us. And the problem with that is that even when we decide not, or that we don't want to just kind of let somebody else ride roughshod over us, but we kind of let them do it anyway because we're too frightened to stand up to them, or the implications of what we would have to change in our lives are too great if we stand up to them. Bottom line is, if you allow people, what we allow will go on. If we allow others to control the narrative of our lives, that will continue to happen until they are good and ready to stop. But it looks like there's some real hesitation about grabbing this bull by the horns. Not comfortable. Okay, we get here the Queen of Wands. So I mean, I think even if the Queen of Wands was in the reverse, and I've got to make it clear, I don't do these minor arcana cards in the reverse, but the other lady we have on the table here is the High Priestess in the reverse. But I think even if the Queen of Wands was in the reverse, that there would be no malevolent energy about her. There is a motherly aspect to this, and a good mother, not the High Priestess in reverse, but is the Queen of Wands. A good mother will always, no matter what, have your back. She will have your back. And this to me is a call to look inside and find that energy within yourself, because I think that, you know, this is hardcore. High Priestess in reverse, Magician in reverse. Look inside and find that motherly energy from yourself, in yourself, for yourself in this, and that might help you jump one way or one way. I'm not going to say one way or the other, because that just leaves us where we are in the Two of Swords. And I see here that she has two very different things in her hands. I mean, she's got her wand, rightly so, she is the queen. But in the other hand, she has this beautiful sunflower. Now, I'm getting a really strong image here of the seed head of a sunflower with that extraordinary kind of fractal spiral thing going on in there. There's something very subtle in the structure of this, extremely subtle, because the tower is kind of universally, or you know, usually seen as a very negative energy, and even the tower in reverse. The tower in reverse doesn't just mean, oh, you're fine, you ain't, you know, your tower ain't going to get struck by a bolt of lightning. It's not just that. It's really having to really dig very deep to get control of this, if that's what you're going to do. But as I said, if we don't get control of situations like this, they simply go on, and they eat us, and they eat our lives. And I'm really seeing the intricate and yet regular, complex but regular and subtle pattern of the seed head of the sunflower. That is the way to look at this. You know, it looks complex, but it is actually very, very simple. Okay, I'm going to move on. Okay, we've got the Page of Pentacles. Yeah, there's a real contrast here, because what this is telling me is to handle this delicately. And I guess, you know, I'm not surprised that this High Priestess in reverse, Magician in reverse, requires delicate handling, because these are hard, you know, these are not people who, or this is not an energy that kind of does this malevolence and manipulation sort of on a whim. You know, there's practice here, especially in the Magician. There's practice. It's done with skill, and it's done with real intent. And I guess, to me, this Page of Pentacles is, with the delicacy with which he is holding and regarding this pentacle, is mirroring the indecision here in the Two of Swords. I think there's fear here. But I draw your attention back to the Queen of Wands. Very warm, very stable, and kind of apple pie wisdom. And it looks like in this we could really do with a bowl of that. Ace of Cups, fantastic. Okay. This is saying to me to really think very, well, I don't know about think, but engage with yourself in a very honest way about what the emotional content of this situation is, and what the cost is to you, what the cost would be of allowing this situation to continue, because I get the very strong feeling that if this is not got hold of, High Priestess in reverse, Magician in reverse, if this is not got hold of, the lightning bolt striking that tower is going to come again and again and again, and there is a limit to what we can stand. Your feelings here, your feelings will be the guide to get you past the impasse and the lose-lose. You know, it's like, you know, are you talking to me or chewing a brick? Either way you lose your teeth. That's what we've got here in the Two of Swords. But it's your emotions. It's the simple core emotion. I'm getting this from the Queen of Wands as well, that is going to tell you what's really going on here. But as I say, that there is a sort of feeling of vulnerability in the Page of Pentacles here. Right, let's get one from the Kuan Yin. Sorry guys, it's not really a very happy reading, is it? But if there's something that you've kind of just like allowed to just kind of get on with it, and just allowed to kind of do its thing, whatever it is, over the weekend, Tower in reverse as the key to power is indicating that it's time to become active in getting hold of this situation. Right, Kuan Yin. Okay, I see it. Right, we get blessing to begin. So if there is a change of approach to be enacted and manifested in this, there is a blessing implicit in that change of approach. And I wonder also, in the context of the Tower in reverse here as the key to power, whether this situation is so, not ingrained necessarily, but yeah, somewhat, yeah, ingrained and kind of metabolic for you. You know, these are kind of metabolic manipulations and toxicity and manipulation here in the High Priestess in reverse and the Magician in reverse. That this is something that might need to be dismantled one brick at a time, with delicacy, and perhaps in a way that that leaves the person concerned or the situation concerned not actually really aware of what is happening. And that's another interpretation of the blindfold over the eyes here. But we have the blessing to begin to construct a way out. And I mean, sometimes we do have to build a way out of something before we can actually get out of something. Sometimes some groundwork has to be laid before we can actually move forward out of a toxic situation into a healthy one. But yeah, apple pie, motherly sort of thinking. You know, no matter what your relationship is with your mother, it's the spirit of the mother here in the Queen of Wands, and the emotions will be the guide. Okay, I'm going to pick Globo Solare or Globo Lunare. But, you know, to me this is, well, there's an interesting mixture of passive and active on the table here. But whatever way it is, the change that is being kind of illustrated here does have a blessing to initiate. Right, we get Globo Lunare, which is not going to focus. Okay, and I do wonder, she's taking it to another level, whether whatever needs to be enacted in this situation is best kept vague, quiet, and implicit, because this is heavy duty energy. And when toxic, controlling, manipulative people or groups of people, you know, it can be a group situation, family or work or something, when they sense that the person they're feeding off is preparing to leave, things can become more intense and the ante can be upped. So this is telling me, just keep it quiet, keep it vague, don't announce your intentions, whatever they are. But brick by brick, stone by stone, Tower in reverse here, it's time to start getting hold of this situation, whatever it is. Right, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, please share, please subscribe. And if you would like a private reading, all the information you need is in the description box below. Okay, all best. Take care. Bye-bye.